Welcome back to Discover with Ngabi, the channel that brings you the truth the mainstream media won't tell you. Today, we are diving deep into a breaking story that's raising eyebrows around the world. Human Rights Watch just released an explosive report claiming that 130 civilians were killed in Burkina Faso, allegedly under orders from Captain Ibrahim Traoré. But is this the truth, or just another smear campaign by the West to destabilize a rising Pan-African leader? Stay tuned, because we're exposing the lies, the hidden motives, and the bigger agenda at play. On May 12, 2025, Human Rights Watch published a detailed article accusing the Burkinabe military of killing 223 civilians, including 56 children, in ethnic massacres targeting Fulani communities. They directly claimed that the orders came from none other than President Ibrahim Traoré. The report alleges these attacks were deliberate, coordinated, and sanctioned at the highest level of power. To the casual observer, this might seem like a horrifying act by a rogue regime. But here's the catch. Where's the hard evidence? Where are the verified testimonies, the independent observers, the non-anonymous sources? Human Rights Watch has a long history of pushing narratives that align conveniently with U.S. and European foreign policy interests. And in this case, it's clear. They're not just documenting abuse. They're fueling a political narrative aimed at delegitimizing a government that refuses to bow to Western pressure. The West has a history of smearing anti-imperial leaders. Let's take a step back and look at the pattern. Thomas Sankara, the revolutionary leader of Burkina Faso, was assassinated in 1987 after just 4 years in power. Why? Because he was building a self-reliant Africa, nationalizing land, cutting ties with neo-colonial powers, and rejecting World Bank debt. His dream? A sovereign Africa free from Western control. Muammar Gaddafi, Libya's longtime leader, was demonized for decades. The West accused him of everything from human rights abuses to terrorism. Yet, under his rule, Libya had the highest standard of living in Africa. He advocated for a united Africa, a single currency backed by gold, and an African bank. In 2011, NATO bombed Libya into chaos, removing Gaddafi under the guise of humanitarian intervention. Patrice Lumumba of Congo, Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, these men shared a common trait. They wanted Africa to control its own destiny. And for that, they paid the ultimate price. Now, ask yourself, is Ibrahim Traoré next? Captain Ibrahim Traoré came to power in 2022 through a military-led transition. From the very beginning, he made his stance clear. Burkina Faso will not be a puppet of foreign interests. He has expelled French troops from Burkinabe soil, rejected Western military aid with strings attached, strengthened ties with Russia and other non-Western partners, promoted self-defense groups and local security mechanisms, embraced Pan-Africanism and regional cooperation with Mali and Niger. This is why the people love him. Young Burkinabe see in him a new Sankara, bold, fearless, and loyal to the people. Rural communities support his efforts to bring security back to the Sahel, a region long destabilized by foreign-funded terrorism and the failed policies of Paris and Washington. But this is also exactly why Western powers fear him. Because successful, sovereign Burkina Faso sets an example. It sends a message to other African nations. You don't need the West to thrive. Propaganda isn't just about what's said. It's about who gets to say it and how. Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, and Western media giants like BBC, CNN, and France 24 are tools of soft power. They shape global opinion, justify military interventions, and destroy reputations before the truth even has a chance to speak. Let's not forget, in Iraq, reports of weapons of mass destruction were used to justify an illegal war. In Libya, false claims of mass killings led to NATO airstrikes. In Rwanda, Western powers pulled out just before the genocide exploded, then rewrote the story to avoid accountability. Now in 2025, the same playbook is being used in Burkina Faso. By accusing Traoré of ethnic cleansing, they aim to isolate him internationally, justify sanctions or military intervention, demonize Pan-African resistance movements, and eventually replace him with a Western-friendly puppet. It's not just a war for land or resources. It's a war for truth. Let's address the security situation honestly. Yes, Burkina Faso has faced the hottest violence for years. Entire communities have been terrorized by groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS. The French military was stationed there for over a decade, but things only got worse. So what did Traore do? He took a radical approach. He empowered local populations to defend themselves. He launched operations to push militants out of rural areas. He suspended deals that didn't benefit the Burkinabe people. And yes, in war zones, innocent lives are tragically lost. But to call this a massacre directed by the president, without hard evidence, is not journalism, it's sabotage. Meanwhile, those who should be celebrating the improvement in security and unity are being fed lies by international NGOs with questionable funding and even more questionable motives. The West is built on resource extraction, gold, oil, uranium, cobalt. And guess where most of that comes from? Africa. Burkina Faso is rich in gold. Mali is full of minerals. Niger has uranium powering French nuclear plants. But these countries remain poor because they've been systematically looted for decades. Now, new leaders are saying enough is enough. They want resource nationalization, fair trade, not aid, investment without interference, African unity and integration. This is a direct threat to the neo-colonial system. If Burkina Faso succeeds under Traore's leadership, then the model of dependence is broken. If Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso continue their alliance, they can build a powerful bloc outside of Western control. That's why the West is panicking. You won't see this on CNN. You won't read this in The Guardian. Because the truth is inconvenient. The West doesn't want peace in Africa. They want control. They don't want democracy. They want obedience. And they don't want leaders like Ibrahim Traoré. They want sellouts, puppets, and beggars. But the people of Burkina Faso are awake. Africa is awake. And no amount of propaganda can erase that. Brothers and sisters, we must open our eyes. The attack on Captain Ibrahim Traoré is not just about Burkina Faso. It's about all of Africa. It's about who gets to write our story. It's about whether we remain dependent or finally break free. Brothers and sisters, we must open our eyes. The attack on Captain Ibrahim Traoré is not just about Burkina Faso. It's about all of Africa. It's about who gets to write our story. It's about whether we remain dependent or finally break free. If you believe in African unity, if you believe in truth over lies, and if you're tired of Western manipulation, then stand with us. Subscribe to our channel and share this video. Let's expose the agenda. Let's defend our heroes. And let's reclaim the African narrative.